I received the termination email at 9:47 a.m., 11 years after creating the algorithm that powered the entire company. And that was the moment I discovered who really owned what. The email arrives while I'm reviewing code in my office in San Francisco's Soma district. Subject: Organizational Restructuring, Confidential. Sender: Human Resources, TechFlow Systems. Dear David, due to strategic changes in our organization. I read it once, twice. The words float on the screen like a syntax error I can't debug. 11 years. 11 years building the recommendation engine that processes 600 million transactions daily. The algorithm that transformed TechFlow from a Y Combinator startup into the most valuable unicorn in Silicon Valley. My algorithm. I click on my personal folder. Core Engine v2, 3D Chen 2012. The original files are still there, time-stamped when the company had 12 employees and operated from a WeWork in Palo Alto. When Marcus Rodriguez, our CEO, begged me not to leave for Google. David, you're the brain behind this. Without you, there's no company. Without me, there's no company. Those words echo as I read the final paragraph. Your last day will be Friday, November 15th. We appreciate your contributions to the company. Contributions. Like I'd been bringing donuts to morning stand-up meetings. I look out the window toward the Bay Bridge. Traffic flows in predictable patterns. Everything has logic, except this. My phone buzzes. Text from my sister Amy. How's the day going? How do I explain that I just discovered 11 years of my life can be erased with an automated email? That the algorithm I designed from scratch, optimized through countless all-nighters, defended in every technical review, apparently means nothing. I open my browser, navigate to the USPTO website. Search, Adaptive Recommendation System, based on multimodal predictive analysis. Patent number, US 9567-891B2. Grant date, March 15, 2013. Inventor, David Chen. Assignee, David Chen. Not TechFlow. Me. 8 years ago, when I filed the patent, it was pure precaution. Advice from my father, a hardware engineer from the old school. Son, always protect what you create. Companies can change, but your ideas are yours. At the time, it seemed paranoid. Marcus and I were de facto partners, if not legally. We worked 16-hour days, ate cold pizza over keyboards, dreamed of conquering the world. How naive I was. Now Marcus appears on TechCrunch as the visionary who revolutionized e-commerce. In the photos, he wears Tom Ford suits and talks about his disruptive vision. My vision, my code, my algorithm. But the patent says otherwise. I print the document. 16 pages of technical specifications I wrote, diagrams I drew, mathematical formulas I derived, all mine. For the first time in 11 years, I smile in the office. At 11:30, Sarah from HR shows up. Plastic smile, folder in hand. David, I'm so sorry about this. You know you've always been valued. Valued? Like a vending machine? This comes from the top. Global restructuring. They've decided to centralize development in our Dublin offices. Centralize. What an elegant euphemism for we're firing you because you're expensive. Does Marcus know? Of course, this has been a very difficult decision for him. Very difficult. While I was building the company's future, Marcus was building his network. While I optimized algorithms, he optimized his public image. I need you to sign these documents. Non-disclosure agreement, intellectual property transfer, non-compete. Intellectual property transfer. The words hit me like a slap. Sarah, do you know what the company's main algorithm does? I'm not technical. It generates 420 million annually in revenue. I created it. It's patented under my name. Her smile wavers. David, everything developed during your time at the company belongs to TechFlow according to your contract. Read Clause 7(3) of my original contract. Prior developments and personal patents are excluded. I hand her a copy. She reads it, turns pale. This? I need to check with legal. Check whatever you want, but I'm not signing anything until I talk to a lawyer. She leaves my office like she's seen a ghost. At 12:15, Marcus calls me. First time he's spoken to me directly in 6 months. David, man, what the hell is going on? Sarah says there are issues with the paperwork. No issues, Marcus. I'm just not giving away my intellectual property. Your property? David, you've worked for TechFlow for 11 years. And I created the main algorithm before you had an office. Remember, I was working from my apartment in Mission District. Silence. I picture him sweating in his corner office. Let's talk about this like civilized people. Lunch? I'm not hungry, Marcus. I just lost my appetite. I hang up. For the first time in 11 years, I've hung up on my boss. It feels strangely liberating. That afternoon, I visit my brother-in-law Robert's law firm in downtown SF. IP specialist, office near Union Square. David, tell me exactly what happened. I explain everything, the termination, the patent, the attempted forced transfer. Robert reads the documents, smiles. This is a textbook case. You have the patent registered before signing the employment contract. It's yours, no question. But can they fire me? They can fire you, but they can't take your intellectual property. It's like firing you and trying to keep your car. What options do I have? Several. You can sue, you can negotiate, you can… He stops, looks at me intently. David, do you know how much your algorithm is worth? It generates about $420 million a year for the company. And without it, what happens? The company collapses. It's like removing the engine from a Ferrari. Robert leans back in his chair. Do you know what they're trying to do right now? Fire me? No. They're trying to close a Series D funding round. $2 billion. I read it in TechCrunch yesterday. The information hits me like thunder. $2 billion. A valuation based on my algorithm. Robert, what happens if an investor discovers that the core technology doesn't belong to the company? The valuation goes to shit. Nobody invests $2 billion in a company that doesn't own its most valuable asset. Now I understand the rush to make me sign. It's not just about firing me. It's about plugging a legal hole before someone discovers it. What's your advice? Don't do anything hasty. They have a ticking time bomb and don't know it yet. You have the detonator. And what do I do with the detonator? Wait, let the round advance. The more committed they get, the more power you'll have to negotiate. I leave the office with a strategy. For the first time in my career, I'm not going to be reactive. I'm going to be strategic. It's time for David Chen to learn corporate chess. The following days are pure theater. I go to the office, pretend to work, while actually researching everything I can about the funding round. TechCrunch confirms TechFlow Systems closes 2B Series D with Sequoia Capital and Andreessen Horowitz. Close date, November 30th, 2 weeks after my official last day. Perfect. On Wednesday, Marcus calls me to his office. He's accompanied by 2 suits I don't recognize, corporate lawyers probably. David, these are Alex and Patricia from our legal department. Legal department, as if TechFlow had a legal department when I was writing code on my IKEA couch. We've reviewed the patent issue, says Alex. We understand there might be confusion. There's no confusion. The patent is mine. Technically, yes, but morally. Morally? I interrupt. Is it moral to fire the creator of your core technology via email? Marcus intervenes. David, let's be practical. What do you want? Good question. A week ago, I would have asked to keep my job. Now. Time to think about it. We don't have much time. The funding round. What funding round? I ask with feigned innocence. Glances are exchanged. They know that I know. David, says Patricia, let's be reasonable. We can offer you generous compensation. How much? $3 million, tax-free. $3 million for something that generates $420 million annually. It's like selling the Louvre for the price of a poster. I'll think about it. How much time do you need? I look at the calendar on the wall. November 15th, until December 1st. That's after the round closes. Exactly. I leave the office, leaving them with funeral faces. That night I call Robert. $3 million. Are they insane? Is it too little? David, your algorithm is worth more than the entire company. Without it, TechFlow is just a pretty website and an expensive office. So what do I do? Wait, let them sign with the investors, then explain the situation. Isn't that a bit cruel? More cruel than firing you via email after 11 years? He's right. Marcus never had ethical problems when it came to his benefit. It's time I didn't have them either. Friday the 15th is my official last day. I pack my things, a plant, 2 technical books, the photo from my Stanford graduation, 11 years fit in a cardboard box. Nobody organizes a farewell. No beers, no speeches. Just Sarah walking me to the door with termination papers. David, you can still change your mind about the agreement. Thanks, Sarah, but I'm going to take a break. Marcus is very worried. I'm sure he is. I leave the building for the last time as an employee. The feeling is strange, liberation mixed with uncertainty. The following Monday, from my apartment in Mission District, I watch the news. TechFlow closes largest funding round in Silicon Valley history. Marcus appears on every cover. We're going to revolutionize global e-commerce, he tells Forbes. On Tuesday, my phone starts ringing. David, this is Patricia from TechFlow Legal. We need to talk urgently. I'm on vacation. It's about the patent. The investors are doing due diligence. What's due diligence? Legal review of all company assets. And they've discovered that the main asset doesn't belong to you. Long silence. David, this is serious. If we don't resolve this. What? The round falls through? It could happen. What a shame. I hang up. 2 hours later, Marcus in person. David, man, we need to fix this. The Sequoia guys are freaking out. Hi, Marcus. How's the global e-commerce revolution going? David, please, this isn't a game. You're right, it's not a game. It's my life, my work, my future. I'll double the offer. 6 million. No. 8? Marcus, how much is TechFlow worth according to the new round? That's confidential. 4. 8 billion. I read it on TechCrunch. His face falls apart. Do you know what percentage my algorithm represents in that valuation? David, 90%. Without my code, your company is worth about as much as a small-town consultancy. What do you want? Good question. What do I want? I want respect. On November 28th, Alex calls me at 11 p.m. David, we have a serious problem. Sequoia has suspended the wire transfer. Wire transfer, the moment when 1-2 billion would change hands. Why? Their due diligence identified significant irregularities in intellectual property ownership. Oops, how unfortunate. David, this is serious. If the round falls through, the whole company goes to hell. 150 jobs, including your former colleagues. He touches a sensitive nerve. I think about Lisa, the junior developer I hired 2 years ago. About Mike, the sysadmin who's been there since we were 12 people. What do you propose? Meeting tomorrow. Marcus, you, me, and Sequoia representatives. Where? Neutral ground. St. Regis Hotel. St. Regis Hotel, where the rich solve their problems. I'll be there. The next day, conference room, 15th floor, views of the bay. Marcus looks like he's aged 10 years in 2 weeks. With him, 2 Americans. Bob and Jennifer from Sequoia Capital. Mr. Chen, says Bob, we need to understand the IP situation. The situation is simple. The core patent is mine. Jennifer consults her papers. According to our analysis, this algorithm generates 85% of the company's revenue. 90%, I correct her. Your analysis falls short. Marcus intervenes. David, please, let's be reasonable. Marcus, for 11 years I was reasonable. I built you an empire and you fired me via email. Bob looks directly at me. What do you want, Mr. Chen? What a clear question. What a difference from Spanish evasions. I want TechFlow to survive, but under new rules. What rules? Asks Marcus. I pull a document from my briefcase. 4 pages that Robert and I worked on all week. Exclusive license of my patent to TechFlow. Duration, 10 years. Royalty, 15% of annual net revenue. 15%? Marcus goes pale. It's generous. Google pays 20% for similar technologies. Bob calculates mentally. That's about $60 million per year. To start, if revenue grows, royalty grows. What else? Asks Jennifer. New position, CTO and official co-founder, 8% equity in the company. 8% of 4.8 billion? Marcus does the math. That's $380 million. Less than my algorithm is worth. Jennifer and Bob exchange glances. They step out to make phone calls. Marcus and I are alone for the first time in weeks. David, why are you doing this? Because for 11 years you made me believe I was an employee. Now I've discovered I'm a partner. You were always important to me. Important? Marcus, you fired me via email. It was the International Board's decision. You're the CEO. The board does what you tell them. Bob and Jennifer return. We accept, says Bob, with one modification. Which one? CTO position confirmed, but equity discussion postponed until after Series D closes. Smart, they want to ensure my cooperation without compromising the current structure. Acceptable. Marcus looks at me with a mixture of respect and resentment I'd never seen before. Shall we sign? I ask. Bob extends his hand. Welcome back, co-founder. The news comes out in TechCrunch 2 days later. TechFlow founder David Chen returns as CTO after IP dispute resolution. Founder, first time I appear in the press with that title. Marcus gives an interview to Forbes. David was always a fundamental part of our vision. His return as official co-founder reflects his historical contribution. His historical contribution, what an elegant way to say, we had no choice. I returned to the office on a Monday in December. Same building, different office. 5th floor, corner, views of San Francisco. The office that the CFO used to occupy, who was coincidentally restructured last week. Lisa, my former junior developer, now leads a team of 8 people. David, is it true that all this time the main algorithm was yours? Technically, yes. Holy shit, and we thought you were just another employee. Just another employee. The phrase sums up my past year. Lisa, now things are going to change. How so? We're creating a patent fund for developers. Everything created here gets registered in the creator's name with a license to the company. Seriously? Inventors have to control their inventions. It's the only way the system is fair. It's my new mission. Transform rage into structure, convert my personal experience into systemic protection. The first royalty check arrives in January 5, 2 million, my share of December's revenue. 2 million, in 1 month. For an algorithm I created 12 years ago. Robert was right. I always had a gold mine. I just didn't know how to mine it. 6 months later, TechFlow has changed radically. Marcus is still CEO, but he no longer makes technical decisions without consulting me. The new dynamic is clear. He handles business, I control technology. As it should have been from the beginning, we've implemented the Chen protocol throughout the company. Any patent registered by an employee is split 50-50 between inventor and company. It's fair. Other Silicon Valley startups are copying the model. I appear at conferences talking about digital creator rights. The Financial Times includes me in its list of innovators redefining intellectual property. My parents are proud. My mother saves all the press clippings. Son, you were right to register that patent after all. Dad always gives good advice. You don't always listen to it. He's right. For 11 years I didn't listen to myself. The other day I ran into Marcus in the elevator. First moment alone since November. David, will you ever forgive me? Good question. Marcus, there's nothing to forgive. You did what you thought was best for the company. I did what was best for me. But are we friends? We're partners. It's better. Why? Because friendship implies blind trust. Business implies mutual respect. The elevator opens on my floor. Marcus, next time you want to fire the creator of your core technology, make sure he doesn't have a patent. There won't be a next time. I hope not. I exit the elevator. 5 months, $5 million in royalties. A company that now respects me out of necessity more than love. It's enough. My new office has a plaque on the door. David Chen, CTO co-founder. Co-founder, a word that took me 12 years to earn. On the wall, framed, the first page of my original patent. US 9 and 567 891B2. The document that changed my life. Below it, a Steve Jobs quote I found last week. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. For 11 years, I was a follower. Now I'm the leader of my own story. And the next time someone tries to steal my work, they'll have to explain it to my lawyers. Because David Chen is no longer just a talented developer, he's an intellectual property owner who knows the value of his ideas, and that no email can fire. Chen Associates Intellectual Property Consulting occupies the entire third floor of a building in San Francisco's financial district. David has created the first firm specialized in protecting the rights of developers and tech inventors. His slogan, Create, Register, Control. He's helped over 300 programmers register their patents before signing with major corporations. His Chen protocol is now standard in half of Silicon Valley startups. TechFlow continues growing. Marcus no longer appears alone in Forbes photos. Now he shares covers with David as the duo redefining the American tech industry. David's royalties have reached 18 million annually, but his greatest satisfaction isn't the money. It's the email he received last week from Lisa, who now leads her own AI startup. David, I registered my first patent yesterday. Chen Protocol applied from day one. Thanks for teaching us that creators must be owners. David framed that email next to his original patent. Because in the end, the real revolution wasn't technological. It was about dignity. And that revolution doesn't have a price. It has copyright.